Welcome, welcome. I'm QXM. This is 7 Days to Die. This is the finale to Season 1. I felt like Season 1 ended rather abruptly, so I went back and checked the videos to see what had happened, because I've enjoyed the game and I'm not quite sure what happened. Reviewed all the videos and then watched the last video, and if you haven't seen all of Series 1, please go back in the playlist and go ahead and view the series. It's very good. It was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I watched the last video in its entirety, and there was a lot of action, and I did a really good job. I'm surprised. I actually didn't just turn it on to see what was happening. I actually watched the whole thing and really enjoyed it, even though I created it, and I've probably seen that video more times than I'd like to admit. But anyway, and to those that are watching and that have subscribed and that have liked and everything, thank you very much. Everybody has good days and bad days, and on those bad days when everything is going bad and it's like everything takes so much longer than it's supposed to, I have a couple videos that are doing well, and it makes it really nice to know that people are enjoying your work and are entertained. So thank you guys very much. But anyway, getting back to the video, I think what happened was Series 1 was started in version 13 of the game, and when they came out with version 14, the old saves were no longer any good. They made some major changes to the game. So that's why the series stopped. But I did want to round out the playlist, and I thought this was a fitting scenario. I want to show off the base here. This is actually from my live stream save. And what we've got here is a version 14 of the game. They're talking about version 15 coming out. And this would have been the culmination of what I was working towards in Season 1, because I'd played around with some of these concepts. It probably wouldn't have looked exactly the same, but I think it's fairly fitting, and I'm happy with what I've done here. There's a couple things I don't like that I guess I should talk about, but I'm not going to fix them. One is the lighting. You can see kind of the lighting is a little haphazard, but right now the decorative blocks are limited. They haven't unlocked everything yet. And so the lighting's just kind of a temporary situation. Hopefully they'll unlock the rest of the blocks for us. The other thing is it really limited on block selection as far as flooring and walls, and I had more plans and more specialty rooms that I wanted to develop, but yeah, I've just decided not to do them because I think they're all going to kind of blend in and look the same, and nothing's going to stand out. But anyway, this is the base. If we look at the map, I went ahead and designed the base in a town. This was the second town and the only town of substance I had found, and actually it was really late in the game for this save. It was like well past day 30 when I actually found this town, but I'm right here. I went with a tower design. Now, most people, I would think, because I was no different, the first base I tried to develop was kind of a castle type base, I would call it, maybe. And I don't mean that it looked like a castle, but I'm talking about like a fortified building and structure that's probably surrounded by like some kind of defensive walls and defensive measures, maybe a moat or a trench or something. That's what I first went with, and in this game it just really doesn't make sense. The attrition with the zombies is real, and it's like taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back, and it feels like it's so hard to make any progress. So I went with a concept of a tower, a single standalone tower, and I have some elevated walkways. I then reduplicated that 4 times as I was building because I kind of like the concept and I wanted to create more fields of fire. My tower is about 14 maybe blocks tall. It has a platform on the top that allows me to move around and get different angles of fire, and it also allows me to shoot down through it. Keeps me elevated off the ground away from the zombies, and then I have an elevated walkway that can also change the fire, or the angles of fire rather, and allows me to gauge the zombies. There's walls up there that protect me from the zombies' ranged attack. And then I went ahead and reproduced that one concept 3 more times, and now I can go underneath ground to any of these towers. I also have a food plot here. I found that a single food plot, like 10 plants in a single row of all the different types, is more than enough for your food requirements, and also build up your stores. I wanted to put it close to where I was building initially, so I did create a second one right here. So in case like the hordes and stuff might destroy these things over here, I'd had a backup. And when I first came to this area, if we look, yeah, there it is. It's over here. Oop, get more in a minute. These two houses are actually prefab houses with the, and they're just outside of town here. They're not very far away. With the forges already in them. So I didn't put my forges down because it was so late in game, and the zombie hordes were not small. They were pretty significant, and if a horde came through, it took me a while to clean them out, and I was in a rush to try and get to the 7th day hordes that were going to be more difficult to try and get things completed. I actually used those houses and their forges when I was first starting to build until I got stuff a little more established here. Having flat ground was awesome. Building in a town I highly recommend. I've built on uneven terrain and it's kind of a pain. But I've basically taken over this plot here. In the town there wasn't much here. There was one house right here and there was a couple garages and that was it. And then this one had one house and like one garage on it. And I'm going to turn this into corn, like a big cornfield. I call it my field of dreams. Maybe in the future we'll build like a baseball field or something if they unlock some more blocks. But that's basically what we're working with. I also have a second entrance that I just added, and this is my entrance and exit for my my mini bike. So that's the basic concept and where this all started from. But we are underneath the first tower that I built, and all my vault doors are actually locked in preparation for version 15. They're talking about having bandits in case bandits want to come in and raid my base. I've actually got all my vault doors locked, but you can see I have a tower and then I have a ladder that goes up that can get on top of the tower. This is kind of a safety room. There is a vault hatch on the top, but in case that's breached, they then come down here and I've kind of got a kill chamber. I can pull out the submachine gun and kill anything that's in there, and it's all reinforced concrete. This is where I put my first forges down and where I had all my chests. This is my specialty metal forge, where all the metals and stuff go. The other 4 chests are strictly for concrete. So the only thing I load in them is stone. I don't need the anvils, I don't need the calipers, I don't need any of that stuff in them because we're just making concrete with them. And then I've got my chests and all that stuff. And something that was funny is as I was dressing up this base, because this base really wasn't dressed up, I've spent the last week kind of making things look pretty. There was talk about, again, the version 15 having bandits. And that's when I decided to lock the doors the other day when I was thinking about it. But I was sitting here, like, all my stuff was right here. So if bandits came in, it's like, you know, I would be so salty if they like broke into the base and stole all my stuff. All my guns, all my ammo, all the resources that went into gathering all that stuff, just right sitting here for the pickings. So this was one room that I created, which is like a vault. Now, I don't think the developers are really going to be able to have bandits that come and break into your base and everything. But if they do, and that's a thing, I'll put steel on all these walls. They're going to get in here, they're going to have to work for it. But I brought all my guns. I keep one row of guns, which are my best, with all the best parts. And then in case I die with any of those on me, I've got a backup gun of each. I don't use the pistol or the sawed-off a whole lot, so I just have one each of those. I've got some hazmat and some other gear. I don't really wear this gear much anymore because I don't have much military fiber to repair it. And in this world, I don't have a reason to put hazmat on, or at least a reason that I've found as of yet. And then I've got my supplies for gun-related items, and then my ammo. And this was what I was really worried about, because this took so much time and resources. And then I've got the beginnings to, I think that one's, no, this is the one. I will be making some landmines. I still don't have an AK. All this time I've spent in this world, and I still don't have a barrel for the AK-47. But this is my little vault, my little ammo room. And again, oh, and my money was in that chest. I don't know if money's going to be worth anything, but I've been hoarding it, and all my money is actually in there. And then you can see just boxes full of other building materials and stuff. And my concrete mixer for making sand and concrete. And the workbench, the jury's out on it. Early and mid game, completely useless, because you don't get experience if you build in this. If you build in your inventory, you get the experience for making stuff. But later game, like when you're making lots of gunpowder or you're making lots of blocks, you don't want to necessarily tie up your inventory with 20 minutes worth of creating something. And like especially when you're digging, like you're digging, your pick breaks, and then you've got to wait 20 minutes because it's in the queue. So this isn't real useful early game, but kind of end later game, it's something that's useful. But we're underneath our first tower here. Again, we have a kill room here. And then we go down here. This is on the right here is going to be, I was playing around with kind of a fall trap. I did have some zombies that came through that it's easy to get them fall in, but I haven't had anybody just kind of wandering by fall in. But it's easy to go up above ground and then stand on the other side, and if they aggro you, you can see it's a pretty hefty drop. They do not die. I have noticed that it does give them damage though. A couple zombies have fallen in here, and they were walking when they fell, and when I came down here they were crawling around. But again, another kill area. We'll see. It's something I was playing around with. And that's my entrance there. You can see I've done the ceiling as well. This is my, what would you call it, an egress? This is my way out. I wanted to create a little garage area, and really what I wanted to do was Batman the mini bike out of my base. You come launching out of the base. That's the whole reason I built this room. This is the only reason I did it. But it's got some basic supplies. Not much in there, but this is like where I would dump stuff that I've brought from outside. This was my last trip out. I'm going to be taking these mountains out. I'm going to do one more thing on my live stream. Check me out over there if you want on twitch.tv, IMQXM. The one thing I'm going to do is I have one more city that I haven't gone and checked out yet. I'm going to turn the difficulty up to insane, and the landmines seem to be really effective. And then I'm going to go try to loot that town on the most difficult level, and that's kind of the last thing I want to do here. And then I also have some other parts, like kind of garage related stuff, and building stuff that might be kind of garage Kate, and then more stuff that's I can expand here, but really it's just for the mini bike and for me to have fun launching myself out. Oh, so pointless, but so much fun to do. I haven't closed this in yet. There was some ore, you can see I've kind of dug up, but the vein was going up and I didn't want to go up, I wanted to go down. Just haven't closed it in. But this is the base of the second tower that I built. Again, another little kill area. Secondary vault door in case they breach upstairs. This is actually this was the last tower that I built. And walkway. Again, another locked door. It's got my ladder in there. This was supposed to be the other entrance and kind of a viewing area to look down, but you can't see down very well, so I might have to take these bars down a little farther. This was an area where I was using like wood frames, and as things drop down I could pile up some wood frames and then walk out there and look down. So I went ahead and filled it in with some concrete, mainly because I didn't want there to be any sort of glitchiness where a zombie could like hang on the edge of something for somehow and then end up inside the base. So that's all concreted in. And then this is the last tower, nothing special, it's just like the other ones, but it's in a square, so we're coming back. It's easy to access, you can see it's not very far apart, so it's easy for me to run underground from one tower to the next to engage the zombies and then drag them through my upstairs defenses above ground. This is my little bedroom. Again, kind of limited in what we can do. We have the computer, desk. my respawn point here. I've got backup equipment in case, you know, I die. I'm going to need some gear to pick up and run with. And I've got some backup clothing. There's nothing in really those cabinets. They're just for looks. And then we have our big screen TV. Got to have that. Got to have the John. You know, I could put a door on it, but it's just me. Okay, so with a vent, you got to take care of the stinkiness. I have a backup pistol. And I figured, you know, if somebody's in this close, that's the time to use the sawed-off shotgun. And I've saved all my shotgun slugs that I've looted. So, yeah, in your face with the shotgun, sawed-off shotgun with slugs. And then I have like a little kitchenette area. I haven't finished back here. I need to find, I don't want to have one way in and out of this room. So I've got to figure out something cool so I can have kind of an escape route or something, and this comes back out to that middle area where the fall trap is, but we'll figure that out later. I'm not going to get rid of this save. I'm just going to retire it until they update the game. I'm actually really looking forward to starting over as a new character. But that's it for the above ground. I guess what we can do is go or the below ground. The one good thing about this is even on Horde Day, if you crouch down, you can get whether you're detected or sensed or hunted or anything. This far below ground, even on a Horde night, I am not detected, and I'm down below 25 blocks. So that was something interesting that I didn't know that was a thing. I'm glad that it is. It keeps them from digging on the surface and trying to get at me, and I can actually ignore the hordes if I want to. Initially, that was my entrance, and I found it was just too hard to try and make this turn with the mini bike, so I had to actually rip it down and build it and try and give myself a straight shot in. Just leave the door open. But you can see it's fortified with steel. I haven't. Whoa! Kind of fell through the box there for a minute. Still an alpha game. So I've fortified it a little bit. I need to put some more steel along the top. I'm still working and practicing on getting in and out. It's not the easiest thing in the world. There's a couple things maybe I would change about this, but again, I don't want a really big footprint. I don't want to have to be repairing this stuff all the times. But you can see what we've got here, and this is really the jux of the base. I've got plenty of light, so at nighttime when the hordes are out, I can see. I've actually knocked that ladder down. This was the way I was getting in and out of the base. Let's see. But now that I have that other entrance for the mini bike, there we go. I don't need these anymore. I do have one ladder left over there because I wanted a second way in. That was away from the first one, which that's now my entrance over there. But you can see I can look around. I can engage the enemy from up here, or the zombies rather. Bandits hopefully in the future. It's stable. Yeah, it's not going to fall. Did have some issues with that, but I've got the design down pretty good. Plenty of defensive spikes that the zombies wander through. And you can see, you know, I've got defenses, so if they're over there at that tower, I can come up on that tower and then run them through the defenses and hopefully kill them that way, and also engage them with a sniper rifle. And these wood frames here act kind of as a drawbridge because you can just pick them back up. Boom, boom, boom. Now nobody can get up here. I'm protected. I can look down. If I had my sniper rifle, you could see that I can see the bases for all the pillars, especially with the additional lights that I put up. The portable lights really do generate a lot of light, and then the backup torches, in case zombies break them, I have torches on the pillars so I can still see. It's just a lot brighter with the portable lights. But I'm really happy with it, and this is what I would be working for and working towards in the season 1 if I'd made it that far. There's my little plot. Again, you can see how close it is and why I was worried about maybe losing it. But yeah, this is the end of season 1. Hopefully I'll be doing another season 2 we'll see. I don't know whether I'll wait till version 15 comes out, or whether I will start a little ahead of time and maybe start the series, which I probably will, because supposedly now we won't lose our saves. They're not going to be making those major type changes to the game. Again, you can see kind of the rest of the base here. Ooh, and you know what? It's getting really late. Hay bales are great for breaking your fall. Let's remove this. And let's maybe run over and look at the Field of Dreams, or what will be the Field of Dreams. This is something I'm going to do off stream. It's really kind of boring work, and it's totally not necessary. But I thought it was so cool in Nabzone, where I found a farm that had like a barn and everything, and it had this huge field of corn. Look how cool that is. You know, so I'm going to make this whole area over here corn, and then I've got to do blueberries, because you can't do anything with blueberries. You need 100 million blueberries to do anything with. So I'm gonna have this side be blueberries, and then the rest corn. And like I say, maybe in the future when they unlock some other blocks, maybe we'll make a baseball field or something over here. We'll cage up some baseball or some zombies and have some outfielders that we can shoot grenades at or something like that. Oh, if you can't tell, I'm just a silly guy. Oh no! There's my fall trap. Let's get inside. Let's hope I make it this time. But I really appreciate you guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, just make sure to leave a thumbs up. And if you're new, subscribe. It really helps my channel out. The more people I'm exposed to, the more views I will get. And the more fun it is for me to actually create these kind of videos. I hope you enjoyed the... Did I make it? Yes, I did. It's really hard to get the mini bike in a single door. Devs, we could use some sort of garage door that's reinforced, that has a button. I'm just saying, because it's hard to get this mini bike through this one little door. But anyway, thanks you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. I'll see you in the next video.